Okay, here we are at the Brass Store, 2 weeks into the league. I'm with David Hughes, representing Liverpool Football Club. Keith Humphreys, Manchester United. I'm going to talk for the Arsenal if I need to. Quick look at the league, lads. From the top, Spurs 1, Chelsea 2, Manchester City 3, Swansea 4, Arsenal 5, Hull 6, Aston Villa 7, West Ham 8, Liverpool 9, and Everton 10. In the drop zone, Crystal Palace at 18, Burnley at 19, and QPR at 20. All right, let's talk about it. I think the obvious starting point is Manchester United. Let's talk about Van Halen. Let's talk about what you think.
Man United went down today 4-0 to UK Dons. I'm going to put the shades on. Still going, if you don't mind. I'm happy with Van Hal so far. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I like what he's got to say. He's telling like it is, as far as where we are talent-wise, and he has come out and said it is going to be a rough 3 months, just to be expected. So I like that. He's not afraid to. He's not afraid. Unlike David Moyes, he's not afraid to say, "Luke Shaw, you're not starting. You're out of shape." Or Robin Van Persie, you've been on vacation. You've been on holiday since the World Cup. You're not ready to play. You're not playing. I don't think that David Moyes would have felt comfortable doing that. So Van Hal's coming. It's his team. This is what I'm doing. You're not starting.
Right, okay. So
he has to be patient.
Two things like this. I'm taking two things out of it. One, David Moyes didn't have the strength to manage that squad.
I think he was in over his head. The first person to follow Sir Alex was really.
Sure. I mean, that was always
had to be walking on eggshells, where you didn't want to be the guy to follow Sir Alex.
I have to though, historically, I have to go back to Liverpool, the other dominant squad, and Bob Paisley comes in after Shankly and wins more than Shankly. So there's more. Okay. He is the highest winning coach for the amount of time served in British football. Paisley.
Wow.
So I think it's possible to replace a legend and continue the success. Something else had to be wrong at United prior to Alex leaving.
Yeah. Well,
and the other thing that I take out of that as well is that if in England you cannot sacrifice, if you sacrifice 3 months of a season, I think what he's saying is this year is a wash. Yeah. Because 3 months in, if you're adrift, like right now they're not even in the top 10. It's only 2 weeks in. If you're adrift 3 months in, you're adrift. You're not going to Europe again next year.
Well, at Man United, the future's always now, as far as I'm concerned. But he has said, he says, I think it's just trying to lower expectations. So he has his system. He wants to change it. He wants to get rid of a lot of players. He has a vision of where he wants things to go, what he wants to do. He's it's not going to happen overnight. So especially with the injuries
and I mean he's a proven winner. Nobody can lie. He's definitely the caliber coach. He's definitely a big enough caliber guy to make Manchester United succeed. The question that I take out of that though is if you say Man United do not play European football this year and you sacrifice 3 months of this year and you don't play European football next year, how do you go about recruiting? It's because it can become a slide. People go, I'm not going to.
I've heard what Paul Scholes said. Paul Scholes has said that Man United is in danger of pulling a Liverpool and going off into the wilderness for 20 years. He said that's
just from a branding point of view. That's a problem. I mean, I hate to. I know we're trying to talk about soccer, but it's like from an image point of view and from a brand point of view. Him saying 3 months is going to be a horrible 3 months. It's just what you're saying. If they miss out on European football, Glazers aren't going to like it, and the board aren't going to like it.
It's amazing.
It's going to be tough to.
It's such a killer. It's such a killer business. That blood in the water, the other sharks are around and it's tough to do.
Well, it just depends on 3 months. It's going to be quick. Sure. It's going to be Thanksgiving, and you just don't want to be too far back. You don't want to be. You don't want to be 15 points out of. You don't want to be 15 points out of fourth. If you're 6 or 7 out of 4, so half the season to go.
Well, really,
I'm thinking top 4. That's what nobody has any illusions.
Realistically, we're going to have this conversation again at Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So for you, a good year. Because we're starting now, we're going to do this every week.
Right.
For you, a good year is if United are at 9 at Thanksgiving. You're in striking distance at 9.
I would just want to look at where we are points wise. Where how many points out of 4th? Yeah. All right. That's what I'm going to look at.
Okay.
Yeah. And Man United starts out with an easy schedule, and it gets tougher. The run-in is late. So that's interesting too, which you got to figure with the way things are going right now, the easier opponents would be preferred. But you saw how Man United's done in the first 2 games against quote-unquote easy opponents, 1 point out of 6. So
you're going to have to raise your game.
yeah, so I almost wish it was the other way. The games that we're probably going to lose, play them now.
And you need to sign first 11 players. You can't sign squad fillers now. But I don't think your squad's strong enough.
No.
Too young.
Definitely in the back. The back is
you're shaky.
It's really late, but Rojo was signed, and I think they're just talking daily line from Ajax and then Vidal. So we'll see. They're saying the Glazers are saying there's going to be more money spent by next Monday.
Right.
We'll see. I hope so.
All right, Liverpool Football Club. Guilty last year of if you're neutral and you have some sense of football, you see it go to Chelsea. If Chelsea don't cross the halfway line, we don't cross the halfway line, and we tie this, it's an easy run.
Play Mourinho at his own game.
Play him at his own game. They got sucked. Brendan Rodgers is a brilliant tactician, no question about it. He got sucked in. It was there to be won. Stevie Gerrard's found left alone with Denver back 47 minutes into the longest first half.
I don't think I've seen this.
So then you lose Luis Suarez. Stevie Gerrard's a year older, and you're soundly beaten yesterday. Soundly beaten.
Yeah, it was an immature display yesterday. I think from a very young side, a new squad,
and no Balotelli.
No Balotelli yet.
Well, he's there.
But he will walk in.
Speaking of immature.
Speaking of immature. But Balotelli's, that deal is done.
It is.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
Right, so he's now a Liverpool player.
Yes.
I think that's a matchmaking heaven right there. Between Liverpool Football Club and Balotelli. He's going to get the adoration he needs, and what his agents have said is that he's not going to have to be a leader anymore. And he didn't mean lead the team or anything, but he was looked to do things for Milan that he just couldn't do at his age and his mentality.
How old is
he? Yeah, 24, 25, isn't he?
So he's still a boy.
Yeah, he's still a boy, and he's coming into his prime right now. So I think, managed by Peters, you've got Steve Peters, who is the psychologist there, and then you've got Brendan Rodgers. He's going to take him under his wing. And you've got Gerrard. You got Brendan Rodgers, one of the best man managers around, and then you've got one of the best captains in the game right now, Steven Gerrard.
Okay, this is an odd. I think it's someone who grows up in England, in Ireland, in Britain, with a sense of British football, has no difficulty in accepting what Liverpool is. Even if you don't like it, I have friends of mine, Manchester United fans, who simply can't say anything nice about Liverpool. But they understand. Yeah, but they understand that it is one of the key components, cornerstone of British football.
Yes.
People want to play at Anfield, to play under that banner, to hear that, to hear you'll never walk alone, song you'll walk on the ground. One of the great clubs. I don't know. My real question about Balotelli is I don't know if that lad has the emotional makeup to buy in. I don't know if he's got enough generosity of spirit.
Do you think he'll bite anybody?
No, I don't think so. I think he's more of a kicker, that lad.
For Balotelli, it's all about him.
Yeah, I don't know.
And Rodgers has called it a calculated risk. Right. To me, what I've seen with Balotelli,
You won't lose any money on him.
That is true.
He's such a big.
That is
such
true.
a pull.
That is a good point.
And that's 16 million.
Wherever he's been, it's about him. It's about him. It's not about, hey, y'all obviously need Balotelli.
Yeah.
So,
We need that second striker behind, or with Sturridge. And
Sterling.
we play best with that fluid front four.
Right.
So I think this is just it's an
Okay.
well, can I say this? There's no I in team, but there is a me in Mario Balotelli.
I don't know if that's...
Yeah, there is.
I don't know if that's... yeah, okay. We might need to cut that. had to
It's the American dictionary. I was like,
yeah, there's a me in Mario Balotelli.